So recently I posted a video talking about my thoughts with Super Mario Maker 2, and I also put a potential leak that might be coming out about Persona 5. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a card above. But I got a couple comments that, again, just they were very valid opinions, but they just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And it's no offense to those particular people who put those comments there. You did nothing wrong, okay? It's just that I've been getting a lot of these as I've commented on other people's videos. I've gotten this comment a lot that Persona 5 or any Persona mainline game is always going to be a Sony exclusive game. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it will always be in the future. And I have a couple of issues with this particular statement. And I would just like to take a video and kind of defend why I think the Persona series might leave the PlayStation and come over to the Nintendo Switch, because there is a lot of evidence out there pointing to the fact that it might do that in the future. Whew. I feel like this is getting really serious. Usually I'm a little bit more upbeat and positive on these things, but this, like I said, this is just, it's rubbing me a little the wrong way, and I just gotta get it off my chest. And if you don't like that, by all means hit the dislike button down below, or leave, or do whatever you want to do. But like I said, I just need to get my opinions out there. So here we go. The first thing is why can't Persona leave the PlayStation? If the money is starting to go to another area, another console, wouldn't it make more sense financially, business-wise, to go to the new console? If Persona 5 sales have become stagnant on PlayStation, which they have, granted, Persona 5 R is coming out to give them a little bit more revenue. People will buy that game again on the system, but it's gone stagnant at the moment, all right? If it's gone stagnant at the moment, why not port it over to the Nintendo Switch, where it would have a new audience, where it would have more sales? It makes a lot of sense financially. Other games have done this. And other companies have allowed for this. Like, think about recently Cuphead coming to the Nintendo Switch. That was a Microsoft exclusive, and it came to the Nintendo Switch. So for all the people out there who are arguing that this game has been a PlayStation exclusive and will always be a PlayStation exclusive, hi Thea, I would just like to remind you guys that there have been several games that have been exclusives to a console that have recently left that platform because it makes financial sense to go to other platforms. Like, for instance, Spyro recently moved from, just being a PlayStation exclusive to now being on Xbox as well. And you've also got Kingdom Hearts, which before that was a PlayStation exclusive. And when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, it was available on both systems. Why? Because it makes financial sense. You got a blockbuster game that's this big coming out. Why not put it on another system to sell it to as many people as you possibly can? It's just the smart move to make. So when I posted this recent video and I got the usual comments from Sony exclusive Persona fans, they all said the same thing. Mainstream games on the Persona series will always stay on PlayStation. I flat out responded, if you can prove with a definitive article where Atlus has said it's not leaving the system, then I will go ahead and I will believe you, because I have read I've read both sides of the argument. I've read people saying that it's going to come to the Switch and people saying it's not coming to the Switch. And I've read both ones with, a lot of speculation, but I haven't read definitive proof from Atlus themselves saying it's not coming to the Switch. Well, there is one article out there, and it's an article I'm well aware of, but I've chosen to ignore for a very valid reason, in my opinion. And if you don't think it's a valid opinion, leave me a comment in the comment section below and tell me that you don't think it's a valid opinion. But this article was posted in January of 2017. Let's think about that date real quick. All right, January 2017. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. But the article did have Atlus saying that the Persona 5 game would not be leaving the PlayStation and would not be going to any other platforms. That's great. Okay, that is definitive proof where Atlus has said, yes, it's not leaving any other platforms. I'll flat out admit that. But if you look at the date, January 2017, the Nintendo Switch did not come out until March 3rd, 2017, 2 months later after this article. Nobody had an idea if the console would be successful or not. After the failure of the Wii U, nobody knew if this console was going to be successful. We had feelings. I had an intuition. I pre-ordered that thing the minute I saw it because I had an intuition that the system was going to be so great. But nobody knew. Nobody knew if the content would be there, if, you know, developers would get on this and actually develop games for the system. And so why would Atlus ever commit to the Nintendo Switch before it's even come out and they don't know how successful it's going to be? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Of course they're going to say it's going to remain a Sony exclusive because at that time, Persona 5 was selling on the PlayStation. And so, yeah, they probably wouldn't have made financial sense for them to leave the PlayStation console and go over to Microsoft because they probably wouldn't have made enough money off of it to make it a viable option. However, about a couple months after the Nintendo Switch obviously became a successful console, after it started selling like crazy, you couldn't find it anywhere, it started getting software support. I remember filling out a survey that asked me from Atlus, do you want Persona 5 on the Nintendo Switch? Would you be interested in other Persona games coming to the Nintendo Switch? It asked you specific questions about this, as well as, you know, a couple other games by them as well. I think Catherine might have been on there as well. But, you know, I couldn't find any evidence of this survey anywhere online. I actually searched for it to try and re-find it, but I took it sometime, I believe in late 2017, early 2018 is when I took this survey, which would make sense because at this point you would know based off the data that the Nintendo Switch was selling and had the support it needed to be a successful console, and it might be of interest to Atlus to move a Persona game over to the Nintendo Switch. So, you know, I couldn't find the evidence on this particular survey, so if you want to believe that I took a survey on that, you can. Obviously, I am very biased that I want Persona 5 to come over to the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to flat out admit that. However, if you don't believe that there was a survey back in like 2017, 2018, which I did take, they actually came out with another one recently, asking if we want Persona 6 and even Persona 5 on the Nintendo Switch. This was posted back in February, late February to early March. There was articles out asking if people wanted to take a survey to basically give their opinions on if Persona 5 should come to the Nintendo Switch or Persona 6 should come to the Nintendo Switch. And so, you know, if we're looking at this, maybe Persona 5 will not come to the Nintendo Switch. Maybe it's too late. Maybe the boat has sailed on it. But there still is a potential that the mainstream Persona series can come over to a console that is not PlayStation because it makes financial sense. So for all of you Sony people out there who have been relying on this article from January of 2017, I would ask you to reconsider. I mean, what is so bad about the Persona series coming over to a new console where it can get more fan base, where Atlus can make more revenue off of it, maybe even come out with Persona games more quickly, where it becomes a more mainstream game that people are more interested in because it's available on more consoles to more people. And I mean, not only that, but what would be so bad about being able to take Persona 5 on the go? I don't understand why Sony fans they're almost like getting aggressive about this. Like, and none of the people who commented on my particular video, I'm not talking about you. You guys were very respectful, and I appreciate your thoughts. But I have commented on other videos where there's been speculation about Persona 5 coming out, and I've given my thoughts on it on those particular people's videos, and I've gotten some pretty nasty remarks about it. And I haven't really appreciated it because, quite frankly, there's a lot of evidence and a lot of support as to why Persona 5, Persona 6 would be a great idea on the Nintendo Switch. All right, so I've gotten it off my chest. I've put it out there. If you want to like a link to some of the articles I was talking about, I'll leave them in the description below. The one where, you know, Atlus flat out denied it's moving to any other systems, as well as the one where there have been surveys. I'll leave links to those down in the description below. But if you like this video, hit that like button down below. If you dislike this video, which I gotta be honest, I have a feeling this might be one of my most unpopular videos, go ahead and hit that dislike video. I understand. It's fine. Like I said, this is more about me getting it off my chest than anything else. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you kind of liked what I had to say here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time here on Switch Mania.